Yo, what is going on, guys? We are here with another video. Kind of stepping away from the usual content creation of NBA, rookies, scouting other NBA prospects. So, with that being said, we're going to go with a little bit different today. We're going to talk about the head coaching options for the New York Knicks. I think you guys would find that a lot more interesting today. So, there's a handful of guys. One of the guys that really pops out on me is, I know I'm going to fuck up his name. It's Ime Udoka, former NBA player who most recently served as the assistant coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. He played a total of 316 total games across 7 seasons, including 8 games as a Knick in 2005 to 2006, where he averaged 3 points, 2 rebounds over just 14 minutes per contest. Look, prior to joining Brett Brown's staff, he was in San Antonio under Popovich. And in San Antonio, he has the credit of developing players such as Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, DeJounte Murray, according to SYN's Ian Begley. And maybe he can pull some Kawhi Leonard magic with Mitchell Robinson. That's why, or Frank Ntilikina. That's why a lot of people like Udoka as an option. That's the first option. Next is Pat Dinley. He's been an assistant coach in the NBA since 2014-2015. He's been employed by the Charlotte Hornets and Orlando Magic, as he's been a part of Steve Clifford's coaching squad and the 2 last places where he's had a head coaching job. Let me take a sip of water. Pat Delaney. He joined the Hornets after an impressive season as the head coach of the Miami Heat's G League affiliate, the Seahawks Falls Skyforce. Under his leadership, they went 31-19 and made the playoffs. And he was under Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. So with that being said, he played college ball, and he's only about 40 years old, even though he graduated from 2002 college, but there's no resource saying where his age is, so I think he's about 40. But Pat Delaney, really like this guy. I really like this guy. He's very interesting. Next is Chris Fleming. Chris Fleming, I don't know if he's German. I think he's German, okay? Chris Fleming, he's the lead assistant coach for the Bulls. And I only know who this guy is because I was just doing a Bulls My League just for myself playing, and I wanted to fire Jim Boylan, and they didn't have the right assistant coach, so I just renamed the guy Chris Fleming, and I started doing research on him. He's a professional basketball player, played in the German second division team QTSV, and he was a Brooklyn Nets assistant coach under Atkinson, and now he's the lead assistant for, obviously, the Chicago Bulls. And he's this guy he's had experience coaching the German men's national team. Besides Brooklyn and besides that being the Bulls, he also was an assistant coach for 1 season at the Denver Nuggets. So this guy's been around a lot, but I really like him coming out of Germany. I know a lot of people don't like Euro guys, but he coached a men's national team, so he just knows how to coach men and knows how to coach a certain style, which is more defensive, which I do like. He's more of a 3-and-D type coach. I really like Chris Fleming out top, so I think Udoka and Chris Fleming are the 2 best candidates the Knicks could select, in my opinion. I do still think what's-his-face, I'm losing his name. So, Jerry Stackhouse is obviously the best. I still think Jerry Stackhouse, I think, has a deal as a college coach. Jerry Stackhouse, I think, is the best coach that has yet to be. He's the Vanderbilt coach right now. But I still think Jerry Stackhouse, whenever he goes in the NBA, is just going to be a phenomenal coach. A lot of people are saying Becky Hamels became the second female assistant coach in NBA history after Lizzie Boyer, when she joined Popovich's staff in 2015, played 16 seasons in WNBA, including 8 years with the New York Liberty, averaged 14 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. A lot of people are hearing that interviews with Delaney and Udoka are happening. But another guy people are talking about is Becky Hamels. It's not that I don't know why, it's just I know why. Everywhere you'll see Sports Illustrated drop an article today about Becky Hamels. And I love her. I just don't think the NBA is ready for a female coach. I don't. You could tell me I'm wrong, and I have no problem if a woman becomes an NBA coach. I just don't think it's going to happen yet. I don't. If it does happen, good. It's great for the sport. But that's about it. She's been on one team, I think, and it's been the Spurs this whole time. Next is Will Hardy, 32, is an assistant coach for the Spurs. Unlike Hammond, he's officially been given the green light by the San Antonio to interview with the Knicks. Becky Hammond actually hasn't been given permission to be interviewed. So Hardy has been with the Spurs for a decade, and which is crazy. He's only 32. 4 season assistant coach. He Previously spent as a team video coordinator from 2013 to 2015, has coached the Spurs Summer League team multiple times. He was on the coaching staff for Team USA and the 2019 FIBA World Cup, and is highly valued within the Spurs organization. So it wouldn't be shocking. He wouldn't be the youngest head coach ever if he was, obviously hired, because Dave Dubuchar was 24 in 1964. But look, he would be really young, and I think if he's this highly praised, he should get a chance to go. And this other guy, Dallas Mavericks, he's guy Jamal Mosley. He's been on the Rick Carlisle staff for 6 years. He was under Cleveland, assistant coach in Cleveland, started in 2010. Then he was on the Denver Nuggets. I honestly think the best guy we can go for right now, if you're a Knicks fan in general, is Udoka, Ime Udoka, or Chris Fleming. Those are my two top. If I was there, I would love to have both. I think if you could somehow bring both, Fleming as an assistant coach and Udoka. Obviously, Udoka would want to bring his own guys, and I understand that completely. But Udoka, more of a developing coach. I really like Chris Fleming. He's a guy who I can think would really lead an NBA squad. Chris Fleming, I don't know why, but he is a very interesting character. He's a very good player. I just don't know why or how he should go about it. I think Udoka might be chosen just because they want to develop their players and they're nowhere near a playoff spot. And I'm fine with that. If they're committing to actually developing them and not just having a bunch of, obviously, scrubs and push for a playoff. Chris Fleming is the guy you want if you're pushing for the playoffs. I think Udoka is the guy you go for if you're trying to develop your players and all that good stuff. Sorry, I gotta respond to a text. And if anyone's listening this far, they wouldn't care. But yeah, Udoka will be the guy that will develop your guys, help you become a better organization. Okay, develop Mitchell Robinson and Frank Ntilikina into actual good prospects. Wow. I think Chris Fleming, if you want to trade for some prospects right now and try to make a push right now to make a difference, then yeah, go for Chris Fleming. I think Chris Fleming is the guy who put the team together, and I think it's the best. That's just my personal opinion. I could be a fucking idiot and not know anything. But yeah, I really think the best way to go about it is if you go Udoka. Coach Udoka would be great if you are developing players. You don't see yourself going to the playoffs within 3 years, okay? 2 to 3 years is what you're giving yourself to develop, reorganize, and reassess everything so you guys can be a successful NBA franchise. I don't know if that sounded bad. I punched my fucking boom mic stand. But yeah, that's my personal opinion. But the next thing is that if you're trying to go right now, trade for DeMar DeRozan or something, then go find somebody like Chris Fleming. I think Chris Fleming is one of those almost David Blatt type coaches. I think David Blatt would have been a good NBA coach if he hadn't been given LeBron. When he got that job, it was not with LeBron, okay? People forget that. LeBron came after. LeBron was pure luck. We didn't think LeBron was going to go back to Cleveland. I think Chris Fleming could be a successful NBA coach. Just like how David Blatt could be a successful NBA coach, he just didn't get the right chance. David Blatt's a very accomplished NBA coach. Chris Fleming, not as accomplished, but he's working his way up the NBA ranks. I think he could be a really good, balanced, good all-around coach for the New York Knicks. I don't know anything about really what we talked about Vardy was his name. Will Hardy. I don't know why I thought Vardy. I know Vardy's a soccer player, Verdi. But Will Hardy, I know Will Hardy, I think he could be the dark horse in all of this. Will Hardy could be the dark horse. Becky Hamels is another name that could be interviewed. But I do not see Becky Hamels coming out of anywhere. I think Pat Delaney and Will Hardy could be the dark horses. I think the two guys that will be the front runners are Udoka and Chris Fleming. I really do like Chris Fleming. I think he can be a great guy for this team. He can make a huge difference. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' opinions down below. Chris Fleming or Udoka? Who would you choose? Who would you honestly choose? It doesn't even have to be those two guys. Those are just mine. That's who I would choose, personally. It's not that it's right. It's just what I think personally. I could be wrong. You know, they don't get either. I do think they're going to get Udoka, though. I honestly think they're going to get Udoka. Coach Udoka. But that's it. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me hear a comment down below. I really hope you guys did stay for the end of the video. As always, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Peace out.